So I'm from England, currently living in Germany. I'm from a tiny little village in England that probably has more animals than people. Moved to Germany in 2014, at the end of 2014. Wanted to stay for 3 months. I did basically a semester abroad, kind of Erasmus system, and then ended up getting a job here. And then, 6 years later, I'm still here. So I'm based in Cologne, which is in the northwest of Germany. I come from a sports kind of coaching / teaching background. I started when I was about 14 working with little kids with football and rugby and things like that. So I come more from a sporting background. Then I worked as a teacher for the last 3 years. But I've kind of been involved in the fitness kind of in the last 5 years, I'd say, within various roles, personal training, either in the gym or with outdoor classes with personal training, one-to-one kind of thing. So a bit of everything. I started, after getting my licenses, my fitness trainer license and my personal trainer license here in Germany. So I basically come from a more athletic kind of based background rather than your kind of typical fitness training background. And probably, when people see my training, that's probably obvious. Now I'm working at a company called Beat 81. Which is basically a group outdoor fitness company that are from Berlin. They've just started in Cologne. I started with them in July when they started here in Cologne as well. And I run that basically for Beat 81 in Cologne. It's difficult to say a specific moment. I remember right when I first started working with little kids, and kind of the first kind of success stories, watching them kind of grow up over a few years, and then a couple became professional football players from working with them. I'm not saying I'm responsible for them, but after working with them with other coaches for a few years, kind of, and then it was that kind of the spark moment of seeing, okay, the progress that people can make with your help kind of thing. And that kind of developed through my teacher and trainer career. And then I was sort of in 2014, 15, I'd probably say early 2015, I started working at a gym here. Mm-hmm. And it became very clear that there's a kind of a huge gap of knowledge in terms of fitness in the general public, in terms of fitness, in terms of training, in terms of nutrition. And I kind of decided, okay, that's a bit of a mess, how kind of society is currently, and kind of wanted to do my little bit to kind of try and change that, basically. I'd say the first thing is every day is different. I am the last person to be able to sit in a 9-to-5 office job kind of thing. So the fitness industry is perfect for me. Working with different people every day, having different goals, having different things every single day to work with. I thought about this as well, because you sent the questions. I thought about it as well. I think in the fitness industry, there's a lot of opportunity to prove people wrong, which I love doing, in terms of not only proving the person themselves wrong. Maybe they've had a preconception about what fitness is, that it's boring, that it's too hard work, or that nutrition is too hard work to change, and things like that, or changing their perception of everything. There's a lot of opportunities just to prove people wrong, which is something that I kind of thrive upon, definitely. Probably the biggest cliche, but having a job that's a hobby, basically. I don't really have a day at work. I never feel like, some of my courses are at 6 a.m, and I don't feel like that's hard work to get up for. With personal trainers, I think a lot of times personal trainers and fitness trainers get faced with clients maybe that don't want to be there. In terms of people that have paid their money for a personal training session maybe, but actually aren't too interested in being there. They just kind of want to be shouted at for an hour and then they'll go home kind of thing. And then between the trainings, they don't do anything, but then they kind of blame the trainer for their lack of progress. Though they only actually do something about it for the 1 hour a week that they're with their trainer. I think that, and also I think something that I've worked on recently since Corona's kind of started, is the people that I work with in terms of the personality clashes. Because before I've had I've had to take on clients because I was in a gym or because I was running their courses that I just didn't get on with the person at all. I think that's one thing that I've looked to solve, definitely, in terms of making sure it fits on the personality kind of side of things before I even look to work into kind of any fitness with someone. Or
yeah, it's important.
Yeah, I thought about this as well. I was thinking, to be fair, personally, it's not affected me and my job too much. I mean, in terms of the courses are on a break at the minute, so to speak, since last month, and it's looking like December will be also the same. But then I've kind of picked up personal training on the side of that, and therefore, yeah, okay, you could say that I've gone more in the direction of one-to-one training because I've had to. But also in terms of training as well, how you train the coach, because how you train the client, because obviously you've got manual guidance, so to speak. So you're actually moving and touching and like moving the body parts into the position they need to be. Sometimes, obviously, that's completely gone because obviously social distancing. So I've personally then had to think, okay, how am I explaining these things, especially in a foreign language? How am I explaining what I want to see and showing what I want to see? I've had to develop that side of me more because obviously you're coaching from a distance now. But I think it's pretty unpredictable. The landscape's kind of changing every day, every week. So it's quite difficult to predict how it's going to affect it. But I think it's definitely going to positively affect participation numbers, because I think, yeah, you've probably seen it outside. Everyone's a runner now. Everyone's on their bike. Everyone's doing some kind of activity outside, which they probably wouldn't have done before. And I think Corona's been the lockdowns have been long enough now for that to be a habit, so to speak. And therefore, I think also when the lockdown's over, they're probably going to carry that on. And then either they'll carry on with their personal trainer that they've been seeing, or in the group fitness that they've been doing and things like that. So I think, to be fair, it will probably positively affect our industry. Germany is definitely a lot more active than England.
Really?
Definitely, they're a lot keener to do sport. If you go to a park in Germany, especially in Cologne, I mean, I've got quite a biased view because where I live in Germany, it's a very, very sporty city. We've got the sports university here, which has a university purely for 5,000 sports students.
Wow.
So that obviously helps to keep it as an active. People of all ages are very keen to kind of get out and have an activity, no matter what it is, kind of thing, whether it be fitness, whether it be sports, such as, I don't know, spike ball or going running, or I think that's definitely increased over the last kind of months, definitely, but even before it was very active. I think the kind of the community aspect seems to be growing in Germany as well. People kind of don't just want to come for their sport and then leave straight away. They don't want to be there just for that 1 hour. They kind of come a little bit earlier or come a little bit later, kind of developing their community within their kind of classes. And that's definitely what I've noticed as well where I'm working as well. We do quite a lot of community work anyway, in terms of little events or barbecues and things like that, where people come a bit earlier or stay a bit later. And I think that's kind of taking off quite a lot here. Yeah. Yeah, I thought about this as well. I split it kind of into personal trainers and then group trainers. Like, I think personal trainers, the biggest advice I would give would be, obviously it's 2 words. Personal training is obviously 2 words, but most people think of only the training side of personal training. But I think the most important advice that I would give that I've seen as well would be that personal side of things, really actually getting to know the person, what they want to do, how they want to do it. Because I see so many coaches working with their clients, and they could literally be working with any single person in the public and not just that one person, because they're just kind of reeling off an exercise that they've thought about before but not actually thought about for the client. And for example, I don't know, I think personal training, people think it always has to be with fitness and weights or cardio or something like that. But for example, I don't know, I do boxing with one client. I do, I don't know, bloody rope skipping with one of my clients because she just loves to jump around and things like that. Like, we sometimes go to this, I don't know if you've seen it, these trampoline courses that everyone just jumps on the trampoline.
It's fun, yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not quite a personal training session, but part of our training is that we go to that together because that's something that she wants to do, and she wouldn't just go for a run, or she wouldn't do weights or things like that. So I think, yeah, a massive piece of advice would be to keep it, actually think of the actual word personal rather than just the training side of things, definitely. But then also for group fitness trainers to also keep that personal element of your session, even though it's a big group. So even if you've got 20 people in front of you, to still use names, to still make eye contact, to still kind of, yeah, make it really individual as well as a group kind of feeling. Yeah, so in my workouts, I vary from electro to hip hop. So you have to pick one. Would you like electro or would you like hip hop?
You can do one of each.
Okay, I'll go for electro. So I just say the DJ and the name of the song, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so electro is Don Dollar, San Francisco. And then for hip hop, it's called Mob Deep, Shook Ones. So that's an interesting question because I never call it a cheat meal. I eat basically what I want.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a crazy meal, then it would be a tuna pizza with mushrooms and pineapple. It sounds really weird, but that's my thing.
It's very particular.
Yeah. Name is James Smith from England. Yeah, he inspires me basically because he says it how it is. He kind of cuts all the bullshit that's in the fitness industry, all the kind of the fake kind of stuff that no one needs to bother about. Yeah, he just says it how it is, definitely. Yeah. This was a tough one because I've literally never thought about having a motto. I think if I had to pick one though, I've thought about this. It would be, would you do this session? So saying, for example, put myself into the shoes of the people that I'm coaching and say, right, okay, would I do this? Would I find it fun? Would this challenge me if I had their kind of needs? Yeah.